Okay, back with another video. Today, honestly, I'm not sure what I'm gonna talk about, but I just did my monthly, what's that called? Video recap of my finances, and I found something interesting. For the first month of the year, my net worth actually went down despite contributing to my EPFs, contributing diligently to my property fund, my savings, my investments. For the first time, the market performance is significantly worse compared to what I've put in, which has been pretty rare. I mean, it should get a lot more common when the market corrections start. I think we've been in a market which has been artificially high, I would say, as compared to real world economics like inflation rates, job data, and things like that. So it is very, very interesting, where we stand right now in the presence of time where we have this opportunity now that with all of the assets falling in prices, we have a very great opportunity to potentially leverage that and end up in a better place. I personally feel that this doesn't impact me so much. I track my assets and do my net worth calculations monthly, and based on that, I have a pie chart which tells me you should invest in asset A, asset B, or asset C. I think in my last videos I was discussing about potentially buying cryptocurrencies, and I decided that now is a good time to pull the trigger. Discipline wise, I'm happy that I waited till now, because when I first put out that video, I believe Bitcoin was down 20 or so percent. I think it's even worse now. It's about 30% or so down. So with that said, I think it's quite good that I'm quite happy that I stayed diligent to my process, and now I'm kind of reaping the benefits of buying at a lower price. Now, of course, again, it's not the best possible process, it's not the best possible timing in the market, but I'm basically dollar cost averaging at the end of every month, whether the asset goes to 100k again or 90k again, depending on my allocation for each asset that I've set out and where it's at the current moment. I'll adjust it to kind of reflect that, right? I think we reached a point in time where all of the assets are finally consolidating. I think the AI bubble is easing up a little bit. I think we've been artificially pumping up the stock market due to this hype that we eventually have. I'm very curious what the next hype would be. I think the AI hype is slowly slowing down. So yeah, want to see what's up next. Basically, right now, I think I'm gonna start putting some of my capital into cryptocurrencies. I'm probably gonna take some capital out of my gold fund, because gold has surprisingly been performing pretty well, even though after the consolidation it has been going up steadily, not to the all-time high peaks, I believe, but it's still over performing in terms of my allocation. So I'm going to trim that, and I'm also going to trim some money in the money market fund, because I think I've been starting to hold a lot of cash, and with that cash it gives me opportunities during times like this to finally utilize and play these tactics of where I can use my money for strategic buy, which is in this case, I believe the strategic buy for me would be cryptocurrencies. Now, when I buy cryptocurrencies, I usually buy three predominant tokens. I buy Bitcoin, I buy Ethereum, and I buy XRP. Now, of course, all of these tokens have their own intrinsic value proposition. Just speaking on top of my head, Bitcoin, it's the first thing, it's probably not the first blockchain, but it's one of the standard blockchains that you have to have in your portfolio because they are the first, right? And they are the biggest, and they have the highest potential, right? So I think Bitcoin does need to be a foundation in my crypto portfolio. Then we have Ethereum. I think with Ethereum, the value proposition is definitely smart contracts. A lot of on-chain activity happens on the Ethereum network, so I think it's a very strong buy. Of course, if you want to buy into that network, of course, again, that's in my opinion only. I implore you to take this as a trigger to probably investigate whether it suits your portfolio or not, but this is what I'm going to do. And then of course we have XRP. XRP is interesting thing. It's, some people call it anti-decentralized because there is a company behind it, which in this case is Ripple. They partner with banks to provide quick transactions cross borders, I believe, and to do it at a very, very low fee. So I think the value proposition for the XRP network, the more people uses it, the more valuable it gets. That's what I'm trying to bet on. And I do think that XRP has a very, very good strategy and I guess business trajectory in terms of their long-term vision for the coin. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get into these three coins again. I mean, I existingly hold them. I've been trimming them for the past few months when they went super duper high, and now it has consolidated a little bit. I'm gonna start taking money out of other assets and start pumping them in, and I believe that's how the cycle of investing should be, right? Of course, it's not perfect. It's not the most efficient way to do it, but I believe it's a way that works for me. And if it works for me, it might work for some of you. So you can see if DCA is something that you guys would like to explore even further. I am reaching a traffic light here. Let's break a second. But yeah, where was I? I was talking a little bit about, where I'm going to invest. I think I also wanted to talk a little bit about where I'm at with my work now. I think coming to the year end, definitely feeling some stress with my work. How, you might ask? I think, with the year end, we do a lot of budget planning. We do a lot of there's a lot of team movements. People moving up, people moving out, people moving in. Change is inevitable when you work for a corporate. And I think that's something I reflect on. And basically, I don't have much say over these things. This is what happens when you're in a 9-to-5. You kind of go with the flow and play with the cards that are dealt towards you. And I just wanted to say that it's been a pretty stressful time at work. Not to only mention work, I have my master's still ongoing. I'm on my final semester. I think once I finish up these subjects, the next thing up for me is the thesis, where I have to be very disciplined to just trying to get it finished. It's super tiring. I just got to get it done, right? You just got to put your head down sometimes and just suffer through it. Of course, there are people who are much worse off compared to me. I'm complaining. And I realized that, yeah, there are people much worse off than me, and probably I shouldn't be whining about all of these things, but still, it's a reflection for myself, and just a reminder to myself that hopefully it will be worth it, right? There was always that idea of dropping out of my work or my master's to see where I end up. But yeah, I think it's a good plan. I managed to get to the final sem. Just gonna see it through and see where we go from there. I think I need to move out of the way. This guy's going fairly quickly. Yeah. It's nice to drive on these roads at night. It's not a lot of cars. It's a very scenic drive, I would say, especially roads in Malaysia. I think it's very windy, which can be good for people who like driving, like me. I dislike driving in major cities because it's very stop and go traffic, but in Malaysia here, especially more towards the outskirts, you have very nice windy roads like this. Okay, so yeah, I mean, back to my work a little bit. I think it is what it is. Businesses have budget closings. We have expectations that we need to set. I think one thing that I realized that's different now compared to last year is that we are much more strategic in where we spend our money. A lot of budget cuts due to the economy not doing so well. I work in the industry of construction and I do IT, but basically the construction industry is not doing so well. And yeah, we're feeling the brunt of it. I think IT being one of our basically a cost center, meaning that we don't generate any revenue for the company. We are basically a cost towards them. That's usually where they start cutting first, right? They don't want to cut their sales force because that's their bread and butter to earn more money. They usually start cutting from IT services, financials, what else? HR, things like this. But it is what it is. We do what we can, and we just try to get by to the next day. Okay, I think that's just a quick update from me. I don't want to keep this video too long. Just wanted to talk and maybe to recap a little bit. I talked a little bit about my finances. The first time I'm getting a negative in terms of my performance month to month for my net worth. It's fine. Just gonna stick to my plan, invest more for my work, put my head down, do my best, see the year through, relax a little bit potentially during the Christmas time. For my studies as well, same thing, put my head down, try my best, think of the long run, think of the why did I start doing this in the first place, and I think everything will be fine. Of course, I don't want to send negative vibes to you guys, and I don't want to send negative vibes to myself while reflecting and watching back this video, so I'll leave you guys with this. Stay positive, try again. If things don't work out, keep trying. This is what we're put on the world for, right? Like, if you don't have these kind of trials, it'd be such a boring world, right? Life is all about challenges and how you deal with them. And if you deal with them the right way, you play your cards correctly in this world, you get rewarded very handsomely. If you don't play it right, so what? You get the next game, right? Nothing to worry about. So the message for today, try again. A lot of negatives happening right now, but look at the positives. Look at how you can turn things around. Look at the long term. Look at the vision. Get grounded by your why. Treat it as your foundation and keep moving forward. And with that, I hope you guys enjoy your weekends. I'm sure gonna try to enjoy mine. Thank you guys for watching.